Okay, so if you're on this channel, you know that I preach self-improvement. But what you didn't know is that I'm going through a mental illness while being on self-improvement as well. And I don't think I've ever talked about it on here. And that's basically what this video is going to be about. So my mental illness is called psychosis. It's when you lose touch with reality. Now you might be wondering, Himanshu, how are you making this video if you're out of touch with reality? That's a good question. I can do this because I have recovered up to a certain extent where I can do this and be on self-improvement as well. If you don't believe I have a mental illness, I'll show you my meds right now. So this one is called aripiprazole, and I take another antipsychotic called palperidone. It's a 3-weekly injection. So those are the two medications that I'm taking, and they're both antipsychotics. Some people say that they have anxiety and depression and they can't be on self-improvement. Well, I have a real mental illness, and if I can be on self-improvement, so can you. Now, I'm not saying that anxiety and depression aren't serious. I'm just saying that what I'm going through is a lot more severe than that. Just imagine not being able to feel like yourself for 2+ years, and also having other symptoms on top of that, like auditory hallucinations, which I'm dealing with till this day. I'm here to tell you guys that if I'm going through all this and I'm still able to hit the gym 6 days a week, what's your excuse? Your excuse is invalid. Trust me when I say when you go to the gym, most of your problems go away. That's if you have anxiety or depression. That's why it's a fundamental of self-improvement for young men. Building an aesthetic body boosts your confidence and it boosts your charisma, and all your problems automatically go away. Now, I'm not saying that I have the perfect body, but I'm definitely working towards it. I have been bulking for the past 3 years and I've been lifting for 6 years in total. Now you might be wondering how I ended up in the position that I'm in with mental health problems. The psychosis was drug induced, which means that I did a drug called LSD with my friends and I was in a negative environment when I did it, and I eventually lost touch with reality, and that's a scary place to be in. So I've been recovering for the past 2.5 years and I've come a long way. And not once in that journey did I stop going to the gym. Even at my worst times, I was still going to the gym every day. There were so many days where I just didn't feel like it. And bro, there were so many days where I had intrusive thoughts and I didn't feel like stepping out of the house. And that's one major key for you guys as well, to take control of your mind. Otherwise, it will take control of you. Obviously for me, it wasn't that easy. I had these intrusive thoughts almost daily, and still do to some extent. But if you're a normal person, you should be able to take control of your mind pretty easily. Even then, it's hard for some of you to take control of your own mind, especially these Gen Z motherfuckers with all the media that you guys consume on a daily basis. Going to the gym is only one aspect of self-improvement, and I regret not focusing on other aspects of self-improvement, like gratitude journaling, reading, and meditation early on. I never paid much attention to those other ones because I thought self-improvement only consisted of going to the gym. But I was wrong. I'm saying this to you guys so that you guys don't make the same mistake that I made and think that self-improvement only consists of going to the gym. There's much more to self-improvement than just going to the gym. The biggest regret that I have in terms of self-improvement is not beginning to read earlier on. I feel like I missed tons of good information that would have put me in a better place today. Bro, if you're 16 to 18 years old, you need to start reading and you need to start lifting weights every day. This will give you the biggest ROI later down the line. Now, I'm not saying that if you're over that age or under that age that you can't do those two things. But what I'm saying is that men in that age group especially don't know what they're doing. Because that's the age you graduate high school and you have no clue what to do with your life. I guarantee you, if you pick up these two habits and stick to it over the long term, you will gain a massive benefit over your peers. I guarantee you all your friends are playing video games and doing drugs, and I'm telling you to become a man among boys. The whole point of this video is to remind you that you have no excuse to not be on self-improvement. Now, am I saying that you need to be perfect? No, of course not. I'm not perfect, you're not perfect, no one is perfect. But I'm telling you to stick to the good habits most of the time without indulging in instant gratification. Bro, like I've been there, I'm telling you, I've indulged in so much instant gratification, which became my downfall ultimately. Now I'm telling you guys to not indulge in it so that you don't fall into the same trap that I fell into. There's a reason why you don't feel pleasure from the good habits that you perform. It's because you've overstimulated your dopamine receptors. You've done it by indulging in social media, video games, junk food, and porn. So anything else which is less satisfying would not give you the same sense of reward. Just think about it, this generation, we grew up and are growing up with technology and instant gratification around us. And some of you think that you can undo all of this with just one session of meditation, but you've gone through your whole life without being on self-improvement. How are you going to undo all of this by just one session of meditation? Just let that sink in. Years of damage to your brain can't be undone with the flick of a switch. You're lucky it can be undone quicker than you think. If you get on self improvement for at least 3 months, you will see a massive difference when you do the good habits. Stick for it for at least 3 months, and you'll see a boost in your energy levels and your mood. Your dopamine levels will come back to normal, and you won't be overstimulated anymore. You will slowly start to undo the damage that you've done to your brain over the years. If you're watching this video, you're realizing there's such a thing called self improvement. But the sad thing is that most people don't actually know that self improvement is a thing, and they go through their whole life without improving at all. They end up settling for a dad bod, they end up settling for an average girlfriend, they end up settling for an average low paying job, and they end up having an average life, and they go to the grave with that. But that's like insane to me, because those people never realize their full potential, and they go to the grave without realizing what they could have done. There's a famous quote that would come handy in here. I don't know who it's by, but it goes something like, being mediocre kills a man without killing a man. I think I just made that up, but yeah, I just made that up. It's my quote now, bitch. I feel like the society around us has made us soft and weak nowadays. Everything is easy for people nowadays, especially living in the Western world. And that's what a mental illness like psychosis can teach you. You can lose the easy life with a flick of a switch. It took me years to get to where I am today, and it took a lot of patience and introspectiveness. I feel like in the modern day, men aren't masculine anymore. Men are okay with being weak and comfortable. And that's what it's all about, being comfortable. Comfort paralyzes you guys. Never be comfortable with where you're at. As soon as you become comfortable, you lose the discipline that you used to have, and you lose all the drive that you used to have as well. I feel like in today's society, at least in the Western world, men are more feminine and women are more masculine, which is fucked. But yeah, that's a video for a whole nother time and a whole nother topic. So I'm gonna leave it right there. You need to make the most out of your time on this planet, because you're not getting out alive. That's for sure. So in summary, you need to get fucking huge and fucking yoked, and you need to get your mental health right. You need to educate yourself. You need to read, and you need to make as much money as you can. You need to start by taking care of your mental health first, because without your mental health, you wouldn't get anywhere that you want to be, which I clearly didn't do. Otherwise, I wouldn't be in the position that I'm in right now. So don't make the same mistake that I did, because everything starts with a thought. So that means your mental health needs to be up to a good standard. Practice meditation and gratitude journaling along with hitting the gym, especially if you have anxiety or depression. If you have anxiety, it's best to avoid caffeine as well, because caffeine can make you more anxious. But a cup of coffee before your workout should be fine, because it's only like 80 milligrams of caffeine. But don't take any pre-workout, or don't dry scoop your fucking pre-workout. Don't take any pre-workout, period. You can see how your anxiety and depression levels are with a simple mental health test online. From my experience, everyone has mild anxiety, but your depression levels should be as low as possible. If you didn't know, everyone has mild anxiety because it keeps us safe. Otherwise, we'll be jumping off buildings without thinking second thoughts about it. After you've taken care of your mental health, you can then move on to making more money and being more intense in the gym. Before that, don't even think about any of the other stuff, because you won't make any progress in it unless your mental health is fixed first. If you want me to go over the good self-improvement habits in detail in another video, let me know in the comments below and I'll get to it. Peace.